Mark and I bought a John Deere 410 with extend hoe from an old farmer last September. We've used it around the property to move some dirt around. Mark's gotten pretty good with it actually. But we've noticed a problem with the rear end. The differential isn't locking and the brakes aren't working. So you've noticed at the end of this video, the differential is not locked when the left wheel is spinning. So I get to the property, Mike and Mark have wheels off of it, and they got it halfway apart.
Theoretically speaking, I mean, we're in neutral. I should be able to spin the carrier. We're not in neutral. We pushed it out of gear into. You like to let this down some. There's no pin at all in there. This carrier's chunked the helm back. Look how bashed up it is. I think the other half of that bolt was dancing around in the middle in there.
That's the pinion look.
Huh?
Pinion chip right there.
And then it's got a couple scores, but
what's the main word is the pinion.
well, I can't get it. Well, it's irrelevant. I mean, it's got a.
You'll feel good. Go the other side. What's going on the other side, on the pinion side? Yeah, down in there. You got it, you got it. Dang it. Yeah. We need these two 11, pinion shaft. We need this half the housing, number 8. And this half of the housing, number 12. Housing, 12. Then we need number 8. Housing. We need these 2 pins.
Those are the pins that are broken in the bottom.
Pinion shaft, yes.
Here's another half of the shaft.
A pinion shaft?
That must be the middle of it. Fucking know it.
So what are the conditions of the 2 number 9s here? can't
gears.
I can't see them.
They're inside there. We can't see them. Probably not good. There's chunks
I think
in there.
the ring's okay. I think the ring.
Yeah, I think that's
I think
good.
the pinion. The ring doesn't have a number.
I got a feeling we're gonna need to replace the two housing halves and everything in between. It's in between them. The spiders.
We
the
the housing
drivers, the two
half, housing
housings,
half.
bolts.
So that whole
Number
assembly right there.
9s, Number 10s.
Just thinking we're going to need that whole assembly.
Number 11s.
Differential assembly.
It doesn't give me an assembly number.
I'll be able to check that pinion bearing when I get that carrier out, but I mean.
I think this gear's got one.
Yes, everything.
There's off over there on the porch.
Yep. Both of them are out.
We got both of those pins out now, Mark.
This must be part of one of the gears. This must be split plumb in half. This and what's dangling around in the middle there, I think.
Would that be one of the bevel?
Yeah. Or one of the spiders just completely gave it up. Shattered.
So was it like it when we got that? When we got it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I would think we would have heard
I
it.
don't think so, no.
You think it broke
I think it broke.
after? There's the
Other half of it. Both of the pins are out.
Then again, it's hard to say. We discovered that, for one thing, this thing here is messed up. Oil line. Very hard to get.
Is that what goes to
It's
that little
obsolete.
cup?
Yeah, this part is obsolete. There should have been a tube that came out of this hole that went up, and it went into that cup. Wherever it's at, it's on the hoe. And so I got this, $100. The cup was like, I think it was like $100.
It was $100 too.
Okay, this part here where the pins go, she's a little rough, but I'm gonna try to get out of not having to replace that. We probably should, but I don't know. It's a little chewed up down in there, but we'll try to get away because that's very expensive. Very expensive. So, one of the spider gears.
Oh yeah.
Teeth broke off. So I got a spider gear. The rest of them look okay. I know you should buy them 4 in a set, but they're very expensive. Very expensive. The rest of them seem okay. Don't seem to have much wear. Nothing broke. I found all the bolts. This one seems okay. They all seem in pretty good shape, save this one. So I got a gear, $85. And then so this half of the carrier still has, you know, it probably wouldn't hurt it to replace that fella, but it's very expensive. And this one seemed okay. It's got a few nicks and things, but seems
When you
okay.
say very expensive on that piece there, what are you talking?
Anywhere from $300 to $1,500, depending on where you get it. But I don't know. I was thinking about just trying to clean these up a little. Cause see, they had the pins in them. Where's the pins, Mike? Well, there's these pins. Where's some pins? Must be on the fender. The pins that go through here to hold the spider gears that sit inside here. you know, there's a pin out there, and that's what happened. These bolts that hold this together, when we took it apart, I discovered that they were all finger loose, and several of them were backed out a little bit. And I think this came apart enough to allow these pins to go through here that hold these gears to fall out, or partially come out and then get broke off, and then the rest come out. And so the pins are all broke up. So I got 2 new pins and a new spider gear. So my only real concern is the fact that these two halves of the carrier, the 2 halves together, make a standard or traditional carrier.
And they're kind of rough.
They're kind of rough. But I think if we clean them up a little, it won't be. I think it won't be too bad. I got one of these cups. There was supposed to be a tube in that. It came up into the bottom of this cup. It sits in the backhoe.
So did that thing just come apart when the other stuff from the
I think when the bolts backed out,
chain reaction from that stuff?
when the bolts backed out, it allowed the carrier to come apart enough
Here they are.
to let those pins fall out. Or maybe not fall out, but come partially out.
Out enough to cause damage.
See, these 2 pins, they're locked together. They'll
Should've
be in
been
the
a whole
middle of
half.
there. And they're both half notched. And that's pretty much what holds them in. And then there's still another chunk that goes on the end of one of them.
And the other one's half notched, but the half notch part's missing. And they cross each other. Something to that effect. But the bolts that hold these 2 halves together,
Your spider gears go.
spider gears go on the pins. So they sit in these grooves and go through the spider gears. And then the pinion spins the shaft, which spins that, and the axles in here. See, the axles come into here. They hook into these bevel gears. So the axles would be on there. You know, if you could see the other half. Axle would go through there. Do this fella. So what happened was the whole thing caps together. These bolts that hold it on, when we took it apart, some of them were hanging out like that far. One of them was completely out. I found it down in the juice, the bottom, and they were, every one were finger loose. I didn't have to use. I could take them all out. And one was hanging out like that far. One was up a little bit, and one was completely gone.
They only
Fell down
torque
in
to
there.
35, so they're not. It's not like they should have been extremely tight.
But the axles look okay. So I got 2 new pins. They were $100 a piece. I found them on the internet, an aftermarket kind that they were only $50 a piece. But the place I got everything else had them for $100, and I felt more comfortable getting it from there.
Looks like.
And there's the axle. It's sit down in there. Catch that bevel gear. So these 2, they were $50 a piece on Amazon, an aftermarket kind, but I don't know if I was entirely comfortable with those. And the place that this thing was obsolete. Can't even get it anymore, but I found a place that had it, and he sold it to me for $100, which was a good price because the John Deere guy wanted like $700 or something ridiculous. And the John Deere dealership wanted $358 a pin.
A pin?
A pin for these pins. And I got them on, I could have got them on Amazon for $50 a piece, but I got them from that place, Con Equipment. They're really good at getting these hard to find pieces and stuff. And then John Deere wanted $400 and something for these bevel gears.
They wanted 700, so those 2 bevel gears would have been $1,500 if I'd have ordered them from John Deere.
Just the 2 bevel
And you
gears.
want-
Just
wanted
the 2 bevel gears.
$300 and like $40 something, $329 for one of these spider gears, which I got from Con Equipment for $85. I seen they had them on Amazon, for goodness sake, for $83. But you know, it was an aftermarket. I don't know. So I got the ones from Con Equipment. I think they're old used part. They're old new parts, old new stock or whatever. So I'm more comfortable with them guys. They're better. And the book was very confusing on the part numbers and sub this for that and the other. And the John Deere guy said that if I bought one of the subbed parts to replace this, if I used the sub gear for that, then I would have to use the sub gear for these bevels. So he's like, in order to buy the one, it would be $329 to get the gear that I sub, but if you sub it in the book, then you have to sub these. So I'd had to buy all 4 of these at $329 a piece. Both of these at like $700 a piece. Both of these at like $358 a piece. I forget what he wanted for this thing. It was like $198 or something. And $100 for the cup. So the man had racked me up a bill of like $5,000 or something. Ridiculous. I mean, I got everything. I got the gear, the 2 pins, and the oil line thing.
In the cup.
From Con Equipment for $385. I already got it ordered. It should be at the house today. The cup I got it at the John Deere dealership. I don't know. The guy had it, and I was like, well, he's got it, and it's in hand.
Copy.
And because a lot of these parts are
I think they only
hard
wanted
to
about
find.
$100 for it too.
Yeah, and I think he charged me like $100. And then I got my brake cylinder,
This seal,
O-rings
and then there's one on the inside here.
for the
Another
master
seal.
cylinder.
This
Or
is for
the
your brake caliper. So I can reseal the
brakes.
brake calipers, one for both sides.
It's a John Deere place. I think they were like $25 a piece ish, something thereabouts. And
That don't seem bad.
some other stuff we got at the John Deere place.
The
And
gaskets.
the gaskets, the top cover gasket, the transaxle gaskets, and
We'll probably buy fluid from the John Deere dealership because we're going to need 2
Filters.
buckets of fluid. I think we got about maybe 8 gallons
but
out
to
of
get
it.
the cup and a couple bolts and nuts and some hardware I had ordered from the John Deere guy. The gaskets, those seals, whatever, the bill. So at the bill at the dealership, I got it down from like $5,000 to like $302 to get that stuff, and then $385 from Con Equipment to get this stuff. So currently we're up to almost $700, and I think that'll be enough to get it back together. All I need now is fluid and filters,
Cool.
it's going to be another $300-400.
Right. Fluid's not cheap.
Yeah, fluid's about $80 a 5-gallon bucket. It's that's pretty standard. I'm going to need probably 2 5-gallon buckets because we got about 8 gallon out of it. So I'm going to need 2 5-gallon buckets of fluid, and I'll probably replace the paper cartridge hydraulic fluid filter and clean the screens. And then I was thinking about maybe getting a new diesel filter too while I was at it.
And
We'll see.
also, I'd like to get a new filter and fluid for this fella, oil and hydraulic. And I'd like to get a new oil and oil filter for that fella. That'll be...
Cool.
Everything's ordered, and so far we're up to about 700, so another...
Go take a look at it.
300-400 next week. And I'll have everything we need.
John Deere 410.
I mean, you just don't want to go down to that John Deere dealership and pay whatever. You know,
Right.
you got to.
You don't want to just
pay
write him a blank
attention.
check.
The moral
Yeah,
of the story
'cause-
is, don't even go to, just source that off the internet, aftermarket, whatever you can do. We'll find out if the parts are quality enough to get it done. I think they will be.